FSVP Agent Statement of Consent. What you need to know. Importers of food products intended for introduction into the United States interstate commerce are responsible for ensuring that the products are safe, sanitary, and labeled according to U.S. requirements. While exact total figures are not yet available, data indicates food imports faced significant disruptions and rising costs due to new tariffs implemented this year, leading to higher import duties on most agri-food products. Coffee, cocoa, bottled water, and packaged foods faced 30 to 50% rates for non-exempt suppliers. Imported food products are subject to U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) inspection when offered for import at U.S. ports of entry. FDA may detain products offered for import if the shipments are found not to be in compliance with U.S. regulations. In recent months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) has stepped up enforcement related to food imports under the Food Safety Modernization Act (FSMA), particularly concerning the Foreign Supplier Verification Program (FSVP). The U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) and CBP work together to prevent non-compliant products from entering the United States. A growing number of importers have experienced shipment detentions due to a critical oversight: failure to provide a valid FSVP agent statement of consent. What is the FSVP and why is it important? The Foreign Supplier Verification Program enforced by the FDA requires U.S. importers of food products to verify that their foreign suppliers are producing food in a manner that meets U.S. safety standards. Under this rule, every food importer must have an FSVP importer identified at the time of entry, along with the appropriate documentation, including the FSVP agent statement of consent if the importer is a foreign entity. When a foreign entity is the one arranging the shipment, it must designate a United States-based FSVP agent who consents in writing to act on its behalf. This person or company becomes legally responsible for verifying the safety of the imported food. The FSVP importer may or not be the same entity that serves as the importer of record, IOR, for purposes of U.S. Customs and Border Protection requirements. Since most customs clearances are processed by FedEx, UPS, DHL, or one of the 14,454 active licensed customs brokers in the United States, they will be the first to know that your shipment was detained or is on hold. Here's a breakdown of what this means and what steps can be taken. What is a Foreign Supplier Verification Program, FSVP? The FSVP is a set of FDA regulations that require U.S. importers of food products to verify that their foreign suppliers are meeting the same U.S. food safety standards as those required for domestically produced food. The goal is to ensure that imported food is produced in a way that provides the same level of public health protection. FSVP does not apply to these foods, fish and fishery products, or certain ingredients for use in fish and fishery products, juice or certain ingredients for use in juice products, food for research or evaluation, certain alcoholic beverages, or certain ingredients for use in alcoholic beverages, certain meat, poultry, and egg products regulated by the United States Department of Agriculture (USDA), food imported for personal consumption, food that is transshipped, food that is imported for processing and export, U.S. food that is exported and returned without further manufacturing processing in a foreign country. What is an FSVP agent statement of consent? The FSVP rule requires a United States-based entity to be the designated FSVP importer. This importer is responsible for developing and implementing a foreign supplier verification program for each food product and foreign supplier. The FSVP importer is defined as the U.S. owner or consignee of the food at the time of entry. However, if there is no U.S. owner or consignee, the foreign company still owns the food when it arrives in the United States. The foreign company must designate a U.S. agent or representative to serve as the FSVP importer. This is where the statement of consent comes in. It is a signed document in which the designated U.S. agent agrees to take on the responsibility of the FSVP importer. A shipment is detained when the FDA finds a problem with the entry documents or the product itself. In this case, the detention is because there is no U.S. owner or consignee, and the required signed statement of consent from a U.S. agent was not provided to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) and the FDA. Without this document, the FDA cannot identify and hold a United States-based entity accountable for ensuring the food safety. When food is offered for entry into the United States, the CBP Automated Commercial Environment (AC) system will require the filer to enter at least one additional code as part of the required data elements. FSVP importers should use the entity roll code FSV, indicating the entry is subject to the FSVP regulation. This will then prompt the ACE system to ask for the importer's name, email address, and unique facility identifier (UFI) or DUNS number. Consequences of a detained shipment. Detention. The shipment cannot be released into U.S. commerce. Costs. This can lead to unexpected storage and testing costs. Import refusal. If the issue is not resolved, the FDA can refuse entry of the product. Future impact. Non-compliance can lead to future import alerts, which can ban all future shipments from that foreign supplier or product line. How to resolve the detention. Identify the FSVP importer. The first step is to correctly identify the FSVP importer for the shipment. If a U.S. owner or consignee exists, they must be identified. If not, a U.S. agent must be designated. Obtain a signed statement of consent. The foreign owner must formally appoint a U.S. agent and get a signed statement of consent from that agent. This document confirms the agent's acceptance of the FSVP responsibilities. Communicate with the FDA. The designated FSVP importer or their representative must work with the FDA to provide the missing documentation and address any other concerns the agency may have. This may involve providing a copy of the FSVP plan itself, which outlines how the foreign supplier's food safety practices are being verified. Prevent future issues. To avoid future detentions, it's crucial for importers and foreign suppliers to establish a clear and compliant FSVP plan before the shipment enters the U.S. This includes ensuring all required documentation, including the statement of consent, is in place and correctly filed with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Remember that, unlike traditional facility inspections, FSVP inspections are based on the review of records submitted electronically, rather than observations of food production or products at a warehouse. If you are unable to overcome the appearance of a violation, your products will be refused admission, and you can work with U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, and FDA to destroy the products or export them from the U.S. within 90 days of the refusal. Without a valid FSVP agent statement of consent, the FDA considers the shipment non-compliant. As a result, CBP may detain or refuse the entry of the food products at the port of entry. This can lead to significant delays, increased storage and handling fees, and, in some cases, the ultimate refusal and destruction of the shipment. Recently, a shipment of canned seafood from Asia was detained in Los Angeles because the foreign exporter had failed to provide a properly executed FSVP agent statement of consent. The shipment sat in bonded storage for over 3 weeks while the necessary documentation was arranged, costing the importer thousands of dollars in demurrage and legal consultation fees. Despite eventually being released, the delay caused missed retail deadlines and strained business relationships. The growing number of detentions due to missing FSVP agent statements of consent serves as a wake-up call for importers and exporters alike. Compliance with FSMA's FSVP rule is not optional, and oversights can lead to serious financial and operational consequences. By proactively addressing these requirements, companies can keep their supply chains running smoothly and avoid costly disruptions at the border. Any challenges to meeting FSVP requirements? Here are the main ones: educating foreign suppliers, combating misinformation, working with documents in different languages, having to overcome language barriers, and working as smaller businesses typically under-resourced and unable to dedicate complete resources to fulfilling the requirements of FSVP. There is a training available designed to provide the knowledge to meet the FSVP requirements for importers, brokers, foreign suppliers, and representatives of foreign governments. Is your company manufacturing, exporting, or importing FDA-regulated products? Contact ITB Holdings LLC at www.itbholdingslc.com. Your company will remain the importer of record responsible for all customs duties and fees, while ITB Holdings LLC becomes the FSVP agent and FSVP importer. Small and mid-sized importers may be less ready to comply with FSVP requirements than their large importer and food producer counterparts. Act as soon as possible to avoid additional warehouse storage fees. Per diem charges are applicable when cargo or containers are held beyond the applicable free time, $20 plus 4 cents per pound, per day. While the container or cargo is on hold, numerous fees will begin to pile up, such as row fees, demurrage fees per day, shifting fees, and admin fees. Speeding shipments through customs and quickly addressing issues can mean the difference between fulfilling a distribution contract and losing an important customer. Use the free live support chat available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, including in foreign languages, for your convenience. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable insights and updates. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we release new content. Until next time, stay safe, stay compliant, and stay tuned. See you next week.